How's everyone? How great is it to live in such a blessed nation? For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to just kind of talk a little personally about why I'm so big on faith and freedom. You know, I came from a home that was riddled with drug abuse and substance addiction. My father spent almost 32 years in prison. My mom spent almost 7.5 years in prison. I bounced house to house. I was lucky I had a cousin that was 6 months younger than me, so if I slept on the couch, his mom could take both of us to the same school. And when I was about 9 years old, my grandparents brought me in, originally as custodial guardians and then eventually adopted me. And they were a very simple family. My grandfather was a welder. He could MIG, TIG, heliarc, which is why I'm so big in destigmatizing that brick and mortar schools are better than our vocation, our tech, our trade, our certificate schools that built this nation. My grandmother was a stay-at-home mom and beautician. She had gone to cosmetology school, was an instructor for a while, but did hair for women on Sundays after church. You know, we didn't come from much. Just a simple Central Florida family that, you know, it was cheaper for us to go to a yard sale and buy a $100 deep freeze for us to hunt and fish to fill than to be able to go to Publix or Winn-Dixie to be able to try and buy the meats that was necessary. But the one thing we had was faith. The one thing that we understood was that this great nation's afforded us opportunities that would otherwise not be provided. You know, I went on to serve proudly as a U.S. Army combat veteran in the 82nd Airborne Division. Thank you. Ended up being first in my family to graduate from college, to build businesses in the private sector, to be a geopolitical analyst, to serve in the first Trump administration as a Defense Business Board advisor to the Secretary of Defense. President Trump deserves those applauses, I can tell you. And then eventually run and be a member of Congress. You know, I'm the only member of Congress in the House and Senate who donates 100% of my salary to a woman, child, and veteran charity in my district. I don't believe in buying, selling, and trading stocks when you can actually try and enrich yourself, and it should be about public service. I believe that we should be looking out and protecting Americans, American interests, and the great United States of America before we try and achieve anything else. We should be providing for our veterans and our armed services before we do that for illegals and criminals who violate our laws. But more than anything, we need to be paying attention to the spiritual warfare that's been levied against us. That low-hanging dark cloud that you feel that rises high above District of Columbia. I can tell you right now that whether it was the idea of trying to implement critical race theory, CRT, to indoctrinate our children, whether it was to try and do environmental social governance and guidance, ESG, for our corporations, or whether it was to try and create division and divide our United States military with diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI. Well, I'm here to tell you that we don't need CRT, ESG, or DEI. We need GOD back in our lives, back in our schools, back in our military, and back in the United States as one nation under God. This nation was founded upon our Christian Judeo beliefs, and for those who want to destroy that, we have to stand strong, side to side, shoulder to shoulder, more than ever. We are living in the days of revelations, as my grandfather tells me, where in the end of days, what is right will be wrong, and what is wrong will be right. We can't even tell which bathroom to walk in anymore. But I can tell you right now, whether you nip, tuck, whether you try and do surgeries, XX, XY chromosomes don't lie. Marriage is between a man and a female. There is only one thing that a biological woman can do that no one else can, and we need to understand that this nation right here will continue to hold strong to our values, our conservative manners. We'll protect our children. We'll guarantee that we stay and remain one nation under God. This nation has given me opportunities that you would never find anywhere else on earth. Between my time in the United States military with the State Department and with other government agencies, I've spent almost 7 years in Iraq, 3 years in Afghanistan. I've been to Kosovo, Pakistan, North Somalia. I was the first member of Congress to travel to Syria after the fall of the Assad regime. I conducted rescues, the first overland successful rescue of a woman and 3 children from Amarillo, Texas, out of Afghanistan in 2021. I was able to rescue 255 Americans out of Israel after October 7th incident in 2023. I was able to rescue 23 Americans and 59 mentally and physically disabled children out of Haiti in 2024. And if you think that I'm done, watch what I'm doing, because I'm just getting started. So let us stay strong in our convictions. Let us not be persuaded to try and back down. Don't let our voices get silenced. Understand that faith is above all, and that this nation is worth fighting for. The sacrifices that have been made to try and keep us free, the men and women who proudly wear their uniforms, and I'll tell you, they don't deserve one day for Armed Services Day, one day for Memorial Day, one day for Veterans Day, while sexual preference gets an entire month. I think that we need to be honoring our men and women. We need to honor our veterans. We need to honor our fallen every single day, because that's what keeps us free. That's what's allowing us to say our faith. That's what allows us to be the proud Americans that we are. American exceptionalism is alive. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless the United States.